Hi everyone, it's Marla. Welcome back to my channel, Eclipse Astrology and Tarot. I'm here with the weekly reading for the week of December 5th. If you would like to buy a personal reading from me, you can visit my website at eclipseastro.com, and please follow me on Facebook at Eclipse Astrology Reiki Tarot. All right, let's get to the overall energy this week. First card, Ace of Pentacles. So that is great energy to have. We are going to be manifesting and having a new beginning this week. And we do have a new moon at 19 degrees of Sagittarius, and new moons do bring about new beginnings. So the last couple weeks I've been talking about you having to make a decision and being torn between your head and your heart. This week it looks like we're getting clear about what we want, because the Ace of Pentacles is showing that we are manifesting. If you're not clear, then be very careful, because we are in a time of accelerated manifestation. I want to emphasize that. So watch your thoughts, because that's what you're going to be manifesting. And I actually had some clarity today around the fact that it really wasn't a decision we were making, but what we were doing was releasing the old patterns, the old habits, the old situations, and people that are keeping us stuck. Because you may not feel the manifestations just yet, but very soon you will be. And 2016 is going to be a huge year for us all. And so right now, Spirit is getting us into position so that we are ready to really move forward quickly in 2016. So with the releasing energy, it really isn't a choice. And now you can say, well, Marla, I can choose to stay where I am. I don't have to release anything. And in a way, that's true. But what is going to happen if you don't release these things is that it's going to get very, very intense and very uncomfortable for you. And everything that is out of alignment with your soul is going to really be showing itself to you. So, for example, if it's your job and your job is not in alignment with your soul, but you say, well, I need money to pay the bills, so I have to stay here. Well, you're going to start getting pressured from your boss, or they're going to start, cutting back benefits, or you're not going to get a raise. Those kinds of things, until it becomes impossible for you to ignore it. Same thing with a relationship. If you're wondering if you should stay in this relationship or if you should go, well, first of all, if you've been having that conversation with yourself, then I think it's time to go, because if it was in alignment with your soul, you wouldn't even be contemplating that. But if you say, for example, okay, well, I made a commitment and I take that seriously, and so I'm just going to stick it out, even though I'm really not that happy. Well, you're just going to end up having arguments and disagreements and butting heads with that person until it's straightened out. So we're really getting where we need to be soul-wise. So I think most of you are clear, judging by this card. And trust me, this is not something that you woke up a week ago and were like, oh geez, what should I do? This is something that's been going on for years, probably a good 2 or 3 years of you kind of thinking about this. And so the first step is getting it clear in your head. You might not be ready to take action yet, but what you want is now clear in your head. And slowly you're going to start taking steps in order to manifest it. And this card, the Ace of Pentacles, is about having abundance in your life. It's about having material success, happiness in your job, and happiness in relationships. We had this card a few weeks ago. I'm pretty sure it was at the 11/11 gateway, the November 11th new moon. We had the Ace of Pentacles card. And I also talked about 3 asteroids, Destin, Fortuna, and Abundancia. And at that time I said they were all conjunct Saturn and square Neptune, which is that working on our dream, again, working on what we want to manifest, what our life purpose is. And now those 3 asteroids are going to be conjunct the new moon and the sun at 19 degrees of Sagittarius. So abundance is truly there for us, okay? An abundant new beginning. And we also have, that Saturn-Neptune square is still happening, and it's forming a T-square with asteroid Excalibur. That's still going on, and that is getting us going on our life's purpose. We also have the asteroid Alma, which means soul, conjunct union. So soulmate relationship coming into your life, also very possible right now. All right, the hidden influence card. 10 of Cups. So I'm feeling like a lot of you are thinking, okay, you want me to release all these things, but then what am I going to do? I'm not going to have anything. Where am I going? This is where you're going. Okay, you can't see it clearly yet. Saturn, Neptune. Neptune is not having clarity, but it is manifesting. Okay, and next year, it's going to manifest. So look at the card. You have a man and a woman with their arms around each other, and they're balanced. A happy, emotionally satisfying relationship. The children are happy and dancing. There's a little house and an abundant landscape. So security, happiness, love, 10 cups of gold, material success, and a rainbow, spiritual enlightenment. That's what you're going towards. Okay, if you are willing to release what you're supposed to release. If you're not going to release it, then, things are just going to keep getting more uncomfortable for you, like I said. This is what your soul is aligning you with right now. And this card is a 1, and this card is a 10. So a 1 is new beginnings, and a 10, which also reduces to 1, is when we have the completion of something and a new beginning. So 2 new beginnings. This one is kind of an ending and a beginning. And of course, 10 and 1 add up to 11. And the 10 of Cups is associated with the planet Pluto and transformation, and the 10 card in the Major Arcana, which is the Wheel of Fortune, which is fate. And just to reiterate, that asteroid Destin, which is fate, conjunct the new moon. And Sagittarius is a sign about what we believe, our beliefs, religion, philosophy, higher education. And so we're getting our beliefs in alignment, and the beliefs that weren't are being released. And the new moon is squaring Jupiter in Virgo. Jupiter's the ruler of Sagittarius. So we're definitely getting clear, and there's definitely abundance coming to us. All right, let's go on to advice from Spirit. The High Priestess. All right, again, I see this card is about manifesting. And the High Priestess card follows the Magician card in the Tarot. The Magician is 1, the High Priestess is 2. And the Magician card is about manifesting. It's about manifesting with our masculine energy, manipulating through the force of our will. Where the High Priestess card is also about manifesting, but it's manifesting through our feminine nature, through our intuition and being guided by our soul. It's about being connected with spirit, using spiritual forces to manipulate what we want. And a lot of us are firmly anchored in the 5D energies now. And manifesting in 5D, there's a lot of information coming out about that right now. And it's really about being able to see the big picture. You know, being in tune with spirit, seeing what options are out there, and aligning that with our soul. The High Priestess card is also associated with the moon. See, there's a moon on it, and with water. And you see her robes there. They look like water. Water and the moon are changeable elements. They're flexible. And that's how we need to be in these energies. You know, things might just come to us suddenly. And this is especially true because we have a big T-square building up at the time of the new moon between Mars opposing Uranus and both of them squaring Pluto. And yes, Pluto and Uranus are squaring. And I know some of you are thinking, isn't that over? Well, technically, they're not going to be an exact square anymore, but they're still squaring each other. They're only 2 degrees apart. And Mars is coming through and triggering that. And Pallas Athena is also there. She's conjunct Pluto and squaring the other 2. And Pallas Athena is about square. It's about seeing the patterns and forming strategies. So you're definitely seeing the old patterns. And the High Priestess card is about also making things that are unconscious conscious. So seeing the patterns. and being able to create a strategy to change them, to release them. Pallas Athena also rules the third eye, and Uranus is the great awakener, Pluto the transformer. So this could be spiritual awakenings for many people, I'm feeling. So things are going on beneath the surface. And they could be within you, or they could be outside of you, depending on how awake you are. You know, I was listening to Tom Lesher this morning, who's another astrologer, and he said something that really fit about that T-square, and it really fits, you know, with the High Priestess card here. And he said that your unconscious mind, which is 90% of your mind, yes, only 90% of who you are is conscious to you. That was his words. And your unconscious mind is going to keep giving you lessons until your conscious mind becomes aware of it, which is exactly the High Priestess card. You know, becoming aware of the unconscious in you. Who you are as a soul. What you're being blocked by. What your life purpose is. All these things could be coming up for you this week. Trust your gut this week for sure, and watch your dreams, your visions, synchronicities. They're going to be strong this week with the High Priestess card. And so for some of you, if you are rejecting, facing your unconscious mind, if you are, what's the word I'm looking for? If you're refusing to face it, then what happens is that those things come at you through another person or another situation. So again, if you're in a relationship that's not serving you, and yet you're refusing to see it with your the unconscious things, if you just keep telling yourself, oh, everything's fine, everything's great, but it's not in alignment with your soul, but you're refusing to see that because you're not listening to your inner wisdom, then that other person is going to be triggering you over and over again, trying to show you the pattern until it becomes conscious. So if that's going on with you, then something outside of you could become known to you this week. Okay, the Goddess card for the new moon. Diana. Focused intention. Keep your unwavering thoughts, feelings, and actions focused on your target, and you will make your mark. So again, another card about manifesting. And Diana is the goddess of the hunt. She's also a moon goddess and the goddess of childbirth. She's the daughter of Jupiter, and she's a twin. Her twin brother is Apollo. And it's funny that we got Diana this week. You know, she has a bow and arrow, and Sagittarius is also the sign of the archer, where the new moon is happening. And the asteroid Diana is conjunct Mars and figuring into that T-square that I just talked about between Mars, Uranus, and Pluto. And I didn't say it before, but that energy is going to be pretty intense. And it's a very transformative energy. So I think you're going to get some real clarity around things this week, and you're going to be ready to move forward. In fact, you might be so ready to move forward, and yet Spirit is saying, it's not time yet. We have to wait, and you're not going to want to wait. So back to Diana. Keep your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions focused on what you're trying to manifest. Now is not the time to give up. It's so close, I'm telling you. Everything you want is very close. Let go of the things that are keeping you from your goal. Keep your intentions very clear. Looks to be a great week. Enjoy your new moon. Don't forget to do a new moon ritual. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing. I love you, and I will see you next week.